Welcome to Goddesses. I'm your host, Blair Minerva. Today on Goddesses, imagine discovering that even those who appear invincible face breaking points, just like you. Today, we uncover the shocking moments when Simone Biles, a global icon, faltered midair and how her journey redefines strength, vulnerability, and the courage to choose yourself, teaching you that true power lies in embracing your own truth, even if it means falling. The world holds its breath. Inside Tokyo's Aerobic Gymnastics Center, Simone Biles stands motionless at the edge of the vault runway. Her face betrays an internal war that no one else can see. In seconds, she'll attempt a move that has defined her career, one that demands perfect spatial awareness. But something feels wrong, terrifyingly wrong. You felt it before. That moment when your mind and body disconnect, when confidence crumbles into doubt. But for you, the stakes probably weren't quite so high. No Olympic medals hanging in the balance. No millions watching worldwide. No weight of being labeled the greatest of all time crushing your shoulders. The twisties, it sounds almost playful, doesn't it? But for a gymnast, it's terror incarnate. Imagine losing your sense of space while spinning through the air, your body refusing to respond to commands that once came naturally. For Simone, it struck at the worst possible moment, on the biggest stage imaginable. Before the spotlight, before the medals, there was a little girl in foster care. Young Simone knew hunger intimately. Not the kind that comes from skipping lunch, but the deep ache of genuine want. Her biological mother's battle with addiction had torn their family apart, leaving Simone and her siblings adrift in a system that too often fails its children. But fate had other plans. When her grandfather Ron and his wife Nellie adopted her, everything changed. Finally, stability. Finally, a chance. The gym became her sanctuary, each flip and twist a declaration of control over a world that had once controlled her. You see that little girl in yourself, don't you? That part of you that yearns to transform pain into power, to prove that your past doesn't dictate your future. Simone didn't just train her body, she trained her spirit to defy gravity itself. Success came like a thunderclap, medals accumulated, records shattered. The world watched in awe as she performed moves so difficult they had to create new scoring systems to accommodate them. They named skills after her, not just one or two, but four. The Biles II, each more impossible than the last. But beneath the golden surface, pressure built. Sexual abuse at the hands of team doctor Larry Nassar left invisible scars. The postponement of the Tokyo Olympics, due to COVID-19, forced her to maintain peak condition for an extra year. The expectations mounted: be perfect, be invincible, be superhuman. You know this feeling too. Perhaps not at Olympic levels, but you felt the crushing weight of others' expectations. The constant pressure to perform, to maintain an image, to never show weakness. It's exhausting, isn't it? The moment arrives. Simone launches into her vault. Immediately, she knows something is wrong. Her body, that finely tuned instrument that has never betrayed her, feels foreign. The twisties have come to collect their due. She manages just 1.5 twists instead of her planned 2.5, landing awkwardly. In that moment, she faces a choice that will define not just her career, but potentially change sports culture forever. Continue and risk catastrophic injury, or step back and face the world's judgment. It's a decision that resonates far beyond gymnastics. It's about the courage to prioritize self-preservation over others' expectations. If you're enjoying Goddesses, please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code for our free 7-day email course, Be an Unstoppable Woman. Lead without apology using quiet power tactics from influential females like Oprah, Malala, and RBG. Now, back to the episode. She steps away. The world erupts in chaos. Social media explodes with opinions, from fierce support to cruel condemnation. Quitter, some call her. Weak, others say. But they miss the profound courage it takes to say no when the whole world demands yes, to choose self-preservation over glory. Think about your own life. When was the last time you had the courage to disappoint others to protect yourself? When did you last listen to your inner voice over the roaring demands of the world? Days later, Simone returns, not to prove anything to critics, but to prove something to herself. She competes in the balance beam final, an event that requires less aerial twisting. The routine isn't her most difficult, but watching her move across that 4-inch beam, you witness something more valuable than technical perfection: pure resilience. She wins bronze. In any other context, third place might seem a disappointment for the most decorated gymnast in history. But this medal carries a different weight. It represents choosing to compete on her own terms, prioritizing mental health over medals, humanity over heroics. The story doesn't end in Tokyo. In 2023, Simone returns to competition at the World Championships in Antwerp, the same arena where, a decade earlier, she began her senior career. The symmetry feels almost scripted. But this time, she's competing with a new perspective, a hard-won wisdom about the true meaning of strength. She dominates again, winning 4 gold medals, but it's different now. The pressure hasn't disappeared, but her relationship with it has transformed. She's no longer carrying the weight of perfection. She's carrying something far more powerful: self-awareness. What Simone Biles has given us transcends sports. In a world that often demands we sacrifice ourselves on the altar of achievement, she showed us another way. She proved that true strength isn't about never falling. It's about having the courage to acknowledge when we're not okay, to step back when we need to, and to return on our own terms. This isn't just her story, it's a challenge to you. In your pursuit of excellence, in your drive to meet expectations, are you listening to yourself? Are you confusing strength with invulnerability? Are you brave enough to say no when your mind and body tell you to stop? Remember, the greatest achievement isn't in never showing weakness. It's in having the courage to honor your limits, protect your well-being, and define success on your own terms. That's not quitting, that's wisdom, that's power, that's true victory. The next time you face your own version of the twisties, when the pressure mounts and the world demands perfection, remember Simone. Remember that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is stop. Listen to yourself, reset, and then, when you're ready, rise again, not for others, but for yourself. Because in the end, the medals tarnish, the records fall, but the courage to choose yourself, that's golden forever. On the next episode of Goddesses, imagine standing at the edge of an era where women athletes were not just expected to be graceful, but also silent. This week, we've witnessed Simone Biles daring to prioritize her mental health over perfection. Now, let's step back in time with an athlete who refused to whisper her achievements despite the odds. You won't believe what happened when Babe Didrikson Zaharias shattered records and glass ceilings alike, pushing boundaries of gender norms in a world not yet ready for her courage. Please like, subscribe, and scan the QR code, or follow the pinned link to get our free 7-day email course, Be an Unstoppable Woman. 7 days, 7 iconic women. Master the art of quiet power, lead without apology, and turn femininity into your greatest weapon. Click the video that just popped up to watch the next one in this series. Or for episode summaries, behind-the-scenes info, and more, go to daily8.com/god. Thanks for watching.